Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hey, my finger's all fixed up. I guess as good as it can be. They ain't gonna stop me now. So let's go ahead, let's get this motor thrown together as best we can and try to start cleaning up all these parts that have been either painted or refurbed or whatever I've done to them. And let's start putting this LBZ together. Let's go to work. Okay, last piston. This is still filthy. I'm gonna clean it all up, change the rings out, swap the bearings out, and put it in here. And this is the last one. It's been a challenge with a really messed up fingers. And before we go ahead and throw the pan on here, see all my marks? So I angular torqued every single one of them of main caps, connecting rod caps, all that good stuff. And it turned out really nice. It was not that bad. Knock on wood. And throughout this whole process, I was covering this up at night and stuff, but there is hair and lint. I mean, it's just almost impossible to get out, but I got out as much as I could. I even got the shop back in here. It was just, it's insane how much little particles, and that freaks me out. I'm like, why? But whatever, it's good to go. Let's go. I really don't want to get ahead of myself, but we're about to throw the oil pan on this thing. Yes. Time for the water pump. Guys, this is pretty cool. This thing's really coming together really fast, starting to actually look like an engine. I just hope I'm not forget anything. It's starting to flow really fast, honestly. I wish my finger was better. But whatever, it's flowing. Nice. Very pleased with how everything's looking and going together. I pretty much labeled everything. You might want to know about the water pump. So the water pump I'm going to keep. It looks relatively new, and sorry, I have spent way too much money and this Humvee and all this stuff so far. Yes, I know it's a maintenance part, but oh well. If it goes out, we'll just have to take it back apart. We just hope it runs, right? All right, guys, new day here, and we're gonna get these heads thrown on this block today. So, got my ARP Headstuds here. They're awesome, they're great, they're wonderful. They do come with fastener lube, but they do not come with thread sealant. How are they gonna require something? And I saw this in another video, and I was like, come on, ARP. How are they gonna require a thread sealant and they don't send you with some thread sealant in the box? It doesn't make any sense. And these things are like $700. It's crazy. So anyways, went and grabbed some. Let's throw the head studs in first and then get these heads on. So here they are, you know, this is the block side. Then it's got a 6mm Allen head that goes right there. Yeah, let me see. Actually, here it is right here. Yep. So put some sealant on these. Nice and brand new. I've never head studded a block before, but here we go. Let's go. Okay, now I'm just gonna run these down just so I don't have to turn them all by hand, but it does say they need to be hand tight. Dowel pins are in. It's time. Beautiful. Here we go. Left hand. Money. Let's get the head. All right, everything's good and hand tight. I went ahead and put the washers on here. Next, we will be putting the nuts on here. Okay, now I'm doing round 3 for torquing, and this is at 125 foot-pounds for the large ones. The 4 small bolts at the top, the M8s, they only get 25 foot-pounds. But this is gonna be the bringing it home for the bacon. And then this head will be good to go. Then we can jump on the other side, do the other one. These are a beautiful thing. So we're going to go ahead and get all these head bolts in hand tight and repeat the same processes over there. It was a little bit confusing. I was unsure. I'm like, wait a minute. Do you torque this part down with the Allen head, or do you just get them hand tight and then let the nut turn it as you're torquing it? And yes, that's what you do. You don't actually crank these down to no 125. You'll just strip these right out. So I was like, man, it's honestly a little confusing. And it kind of should have been more out there, I guess. Or maybe I'm just a rock. I don't know. Not the sharpest knife in the drawer. So my wife says anyway. It's okay. Make sure they're all hand tight. Time for some Velcro. So, okay, right hand, up. Even I can't mess something up, right? I just sprayed it with brake cleaner. Make sure that surface is good and clean. Let's go. Just put the dowels back in, guys. Remember, do not forget to put the dowels back in the heads. Very bad. Guys, I do like what Truckmaster, what he does on his YouTube channel. And I was watching them when they were doing one of the head jobs and on a Duramax. And see, ARP just says go to 125 right there. And I think that just means just go straight across the board, one all the way out. But I'm gonna go from 60, 90, 125. So I'm gonna film one of them and that's it. Let's go. We are moving right along with this. This thing is looking amazing. Brand new gaskets. Let's go ahead and throw this exhaust on while I got it upright over here. And that is not right. There we go. Just like that. Let's grab it. A little bit of the good stuff here. All right, I'm gonna pour this down to 28 foot-pounds for the exhaust. All right, it's push rod time. And I went ahead and cleaned these all off. Got them another little bathe with some brake cleaner. Now, put some assembly grease on these. And let's drop them in. The same identical thing with the left side of the motor. Next, I'll get the bridges on. So I'm gonna put some assembly grease on each one of these. On the top here. And you need to make sure you get these going on. They always face like outward from each other. They almost make like an arrow. And just make sure those go on the correct way or nothing will work. And now we got this little turbo cover here that I had just painted. It'll just sit in here like so. I did put that piece of tape in there. I just don't want anything falling down in these. Get the rocker arm. Let's see if we can sit it in here. It's got two dowels. That'll kind of help it. Uh-oh. Drop the bridge. See, it's just tricky. Let's see. Uh-oh. Don't start doing that. Let's see, make sure they're all in. All right, guys, before I really bolt down and torque down the rock arm assembly here, I'm gonna go ahead and bust the valves loose and then back those off because I don't want to retain those old valves, whatever they were at anyway. We'll redo those. So I'm gonna go ahead and bust all these loose before I torque it down and then just back them out like this a little bit. There you go. That's all you need to do. Do these all the way down the line. Then I'll come back, little blue Loctite, and torque these down. All right, here we go. So these do have an order. 30 foot-pounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey guys, learn from me. I just broke 2 push rods. Wow. Cruising through this thing, and guess who did not set the timing on the crank? So I just go to roll it over barely, and pow, those 2 busted. I was like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe what I just did. I knew exactly what happened. Simple mistake, overlooked it. But I guess new push rods are in store now. Didn't plan on spending that money, but got to now. Everything else looks fine. Luckily, I mean, it didn't crank it over and it's like running. I just was moving it with the breaker bar to line up the timing. I'm like, well, I backed out the valve. So I was like, well, maybe it'll make it, and pow. But at least I'd already backed them out with a screwdriver. But it still broke them. I mean, they're pretty easy to break, but I gotta go get some new ones. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get the intake part of it on. I went ahead and got gasket material all the way around it. Time for the other side. Here we go. Man, this looks so good. All right, guys, that's going to be a wrap for today's video. Got a ton of work done on this LBZ. I hate that I broke those two push rods, but guess what? I'm going to go get some more. I did find a dealership around Atlanta that does have them. They just don't have any here locally. So I'm going to have to get a bit of a drive to go get them, fight all that traffic, but whatever, I'll go get them and we'll get those things installed. And hopefully I didn't damage anything else. I shouldn't have, but I might check that out while I'm down here piddling and got some time to kill. But this thing's flying along. Next video, we're gonna get this thing completely done. I'm talking valve covers on, turbo put in, all that. So just have to keep those post notifications on. So we got a lot to come on this thing. Hopefully we get the transmission get started next, and then we'll get this thing thrown in the Humvee. And I cannot wait for the day that this thing cranks on its own inside the Humvee frame. That'll be amazing for me. Big, huge milestone that will be. So keep those post notifications on, hit that bell, guys, hit that like and subscribe. See you guys next time. Take it easy.